on Team Canada right now, aren't we? We really, really are. Someone who's not on Team Canada, U.S. President Donald Trump. All right, have you heard about this? He has decided he has ended trade talks with Canada over an ad featuring Ronald Reagan that ran on American television and was paid for by us, the Ontario taxpayer and the Ontario government. You haven't seen it? Take a look.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer.
Okay, well, what's the response? Donald Trump, he was up late last night on his Truth Social because this is what he said. Canada cheated and got caught. They fraudulently took a big buy ad saying that Ronald Reagan did not like tariffs when actually he loved tariffs. So who was behind this ad? Our money. It was Ontario Premier Doug Ford who ordered this ad. So was he wrong in doing this ad?
What do you guys think?
Oh, mixed.
Listen, I'll tell you, right now there are a scrum of reporters standing outside Doug's office waiting to talk to him. He's in trouble. Oh, I just watched the news, honey. He's in big trouble. And I'm gonna defend him for a second because I think I know what he was thinking when he came up with this ad campaign that was specifically targeted to the US market. He was thinking, I have a very unpredictable world leader right now and nobody knows how to approach. You don't know how to approach him on your knees or on your feet or on your belly because he's always changing his mind. He's very volatile. So I think they were just trying to think outside of the box with this ad campaign. But I think someone in his camp should have been like, yo, Dougie, you gotta know when to stay in your lane. Because I feel like right now there are two things that are going on. He has really ruffled the feathers of the American public and the worst part, President Donald Trump. But also it seems like he's also ruffled the feathers of the Prime Minister's office because they're like, listen, I think Prime Minister Carney had something that was in the works and he's kind of undone this. And those talks that Carney had with President Trump seem to be kind of quiet right now, or stalled at least. The part that bothers me the most is, I understand you want to try something different, but do not use $75 million of our tax dollars to do that. Because now you gambled with our money.
Yeah.
You gambled with our money, and now it seems like not only do you gamble with our money, but you made things worse because now all the talks have stalled. So to Dougie, I'd be like, ooh, you're in trouble.
I had the same reaction about the $75 million. It sounds like so much money.
Because it is.
It is a lot of money, but if you break it down in terms of the Ontario government budget, it's 0.034% of the total budget. That's like 3.4 cents on $100. So that sort of puts it a little more into perspective. And I think the whole reason, Doug Ford said the whole reason or purpose behind this ad was to appeal to Reagan Republicans and sort of pit them against MAGA-style Republicans because there are midterms coming up, right? And Reagan Republicans are going to remember their hero, right?
Yeah.
And I thought the ad was rather effective, to be quite honest.
Yeah, what do you
I mean,
think?
well, I also couldn't help it. Like, I'm not a big fan of Doug Ford, for the most part. But this, I was like, oh, it's actually a clever ad to use those words against Trump. But the thing is that the people are now calling out saying that he cut off the beginning part of it where he was, in a way, talking about the fact that he needed to enact, Reagan at the time, some tariffs against Japan at the time. I still think, though, that criticism doesn't really hold because ultimately what he was saying, that in the long run, tariffs aren't great. So I think the point still stands. I think what the question is like, is this act, which I think for Doug Ford supporters is an act of like defiance. It's an act of I'm standing up for workers. It's an act of I'm doing something. Where many people would see Carney as not doing anything.
Right.
I'm not saying I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I can understand why people who are fans of Doug Ford are like, at least he's doing something. What I think the question remains is, are Carney and him actually, do they know? Are they communicating?
Based on what I saw on the news, it doesn't feel like those two officers had a conversation.
And that could be problematic.
But maybe it's strategic. Maybe it's like good cop, bad cop. And ultimately, I think the thing is that like, will this move right now? Okay, obviously we know like the conversations are done for now. But they were already done like a few days ago.
I got to say this, when we look at the timeline, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. We don't actually know how close they were in their talks or not. According to the Globe and Mail, they were close last week to some kind of sectoral tariff reduction. And listen, I get where Doug Ford was coming from. The Canadian worker, especially here in Ontario, we've had headlines. Real people and real families are losing real jobs. There is no debating that. And there's a part of me that understands that appeal, that Doug Ford, remember Captain Canada? It wasn't our Prime Minister, it was Doug Ford. And I never thought that I would say he's the guy to be Captain Canada. So whether or not he's in cahoots with the Prime Minister or not, that's a great question, because talks are off. But I would argue talks have never been in a great place. We have never been in the driver's seat. And because of that, I think we don't know
Trump
how to
has
deal.
double-crossed everyone else,
He's
too.
double-crossed everybody else. And so I think for me, the challenge here is, what will this do long-term? Where were we even going?
Can I give you an example of what's already happened? So you remember when Doug Ford threatened to he wanted to do something action-oriented, and he threatened to cut off the power supply to the U.S. Everyone remembers this,
back
right?
in March.
And Trump again got really, really mad, because it's like fighting fire with fire. He got really mad. Doug Ford relented and said, no, no, no. Guess what Trump still did? Trump still responded by doubling steel and aluminum tariffs. So he still, it didn't matter.
That's
even
the
though,
unpredictable
So that's the thing. Is
Then
that
why would he roll the dice again and
That's
pull
the
this
question.
ad campaign?
That is
Well,
the question.
I mean, I guess
That's the question, and use our money to do it.
Here, but what if it actually works? We have no idea how effective it'll be until those midterms.
I actually agree with that, because if you believe Doug Ford, this was not meant for Donald Trump. This ad,
it's meant for Americans.
Why is it meant for Americans? As Canadians, even though this is impacting us, we don't have any control over a mercurial Donald Trump. You know who has control to oust him out of office? American voters. This ad is for American voters. They're the only ones that can save themselves and therefore save us. That's what I think Doug Ford was doing.
Well, whatever he's doing, he's in hot water right now.
Yes. Oh, I just want to say this. We just got news that the ad is going to be shown during the Fox broadcast of Game 1 of the World Series.
So that's interesting.
Guess what?
Did that change some of your mind?
That's the question. The question is, why is it being? Is it going to be a news story, or are they just running it as a regular
They
ad?
have bought airtime on Fox
That's what the
News
75 million bought
So you know what that tells me?
That it worked?
No, I think that would not have happened without a buy-in from Prime Minister Carney.
There you go.
Maybe. Well, that was interesting.
Wow.
All right. Well, we'll keep our
You know
eye
what
on
that is? A this, and then it's a diss.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Shank.
All right, so let's...
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.